So in the next coming weeks, we are probably going to see one of the biggest changes from one iOS version to the other. So every single year, a major iOS version comes out, and this time around, we do actually have iOS 17, which could potentially be one of the biggest changes from one version of software to the other that Apple has made for their iPhones, probably since iOS 11. This is going to be a massive change, and particularly for a few features. For one, side loading is probably coming. We already kind of know that. I don't want to keep beating on that over and over again. But if you're a person who lives in Europe, you could potentially be getting side loading. It could also come worldwide, who knows? But maybe if it doesn't, we'll at least be getting that, at least in Europe. We will also be getting some very interesting things that have came with iOS 11, which was also a big change, which was a revamped control center. So according to a lot of people, there are going to be some changes to the control center. We don't know for a fact 1000% what's going to be happening here. If I had to guess, I think Apple may end up giving us a little bit more customizability with our control center. If you know, on the bottom of the control center, we can change out different toggles and things, but the top things pretty much stay stagnant. So I imagine, much like how the widgets came out in iOS 14, we can change those widgets around and move them around. I think something similar to that could end up happening with our iPhones as well. Again, I'm not 1000% too sure with the control center, but that is something Apple could end up doing here. There's also been a few more stock applications that people have been kind of stating could end up, coming. A journaling app could end up coming. I think another home app or some updates to the initial home app could actually end up coming too. We could be seeing some lock screen improvements. So if you remember with iOS 16, we have the ability of changing out our lock screen. Well, now we may have the ability of customizing it a little bit further. There may be some more tweaks and improvements. Apple has made very few improvements to the whole entire lock screen library thing since they initially made it in iOS 16. There's been some fixes, but I don't think Apple's added anything cool since then. So I guess we're going to see what happens there. The app library is also going to be potentially getting folders, which we can go ahead and kind of rename and kind of manually create our own folders there. I think this is fine, but I don't really know what the point of that is since we can already create folders on our home screen, but hey, I'm all for it. It looks like there's going to be some flashlight adjustments as well. So right now the flashlight you can adjust up to I think 3 different toggles, but now it's going to be a lot more. So that's going to be something that's very interesting if we have that type of capability. And there's going to be lots of other, bug fixes and stability improvements and all those other things. So at the end of the day, I think iOS 17 is probably going to be a bigger update, I would say, probably than iOS 16, even though the iOS 16 update did bring a few things. It's going to be bigger than iOS 14. It's going to be bigger than iOS 15. iOS 14 was a pretty big update, but I guess we'll see what happens. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.